Is this the golf ball we should all be playing instead of the Pro V1? Today, we're going to find out. I recently played golf with a group of my friends. The average handicap was 18 of these golfers, and the majority of them were all using a Pro V1. Now my question is, are you going to see the most out of that golf ball? We all want to try and use a tour golf ball, but at the average price of $45.99 for a dozen of the Pro V1s, is it worth switching to another tour golf ball that is $29.99, saving ourselves £15 a dozen, and see that we still get the tour performance? We're going to try this golf ball out today because it's claiming it's got ultra soft feel, longer distance, and max green side spin, which is very much like a Pro V1. But will it stack up against it? We're going to have a little chip and a putt firstly, then we're going to get the GC2 out, see what it's like with a driver and a 7-iron, and see if we should all be saving about £15 a dozen and switch over to still a tour ball, but something that's a little bit cheaper. Let's go and try them now. Okay, so what do I think of feel-wise around the green? We've had a chip and a putt there, and you know what? I couldn't see too much difference from the Pro V1 to the Q Star Tour. When I was hitting those longer pitches in, it is downwind, but they were still stopping pretty quick like the Pro V. The pitches from 30-40 yards round the green, very similar. One thing that I will say about it, it does say that ultra soft feel. With a sort of premium tour ball, as it were, a Pro V1, a Callaway, you get more of a clicky feeling. I would describe it as. The sounds a bit more clicky, as where with the Q Star Tour, if we just hear this, doesn't sound as clicky, just sounds a bit more what I would describe as sort of rubbery with that, but that is that softer feeling. So if you like the sound of the click, that may be something to be bearing in mind. But performance wise, off the putter it felt, you know, a little bit softer, but still felt nice, sounded very similar to the pitching. But you know, seeing that the spin round the green, the touch, checking up and everything is all pretty decent. And you know, I've hit nearly probably 20 shots with each ball now and hardly any. There's the tiniest bit of wear on that one there, but other than that, they seem to be holding up with a pretty brand new wedge. So let's move on to the 7-iron and the driver. We're going to hit 5 shots with each. We're going to get the Foresight software out and see what it stacks up on spin numbers and distance as well. Let's head over, give it a whack. So we're going to go 5 balls with the Pro V1 on the Foresight, see what the spin's like, see what the distance is like. Then we're going to hit 5 with the Q Star Tour, see how it stacks up against that Pro V1. Let's go. So that's 5 with the Pro V, spin at 7,025 revs, average carry 168 yards. Pretty standard. I would see it normally a little bit longer for me, but there was one real duff one in there. But let's see how the Q Star Tour now stacks up against that. We're going to see that that's spinning around that 7,000 number, and are we going to see the same carry distance, or will it go a little bit further? Who knows? Okay, so we can see there that it's longer, 176 yards. The spin is down, so it's down to 6,377, so nearly 650 revs less spin, launching at a similar angle. So that's why we're probably seeing it going a little bit further. It's cutting through the air a little bit, same launch, little less spin. It just manages to get out there a little bit more with the Pro V spinning a bit more. Is that going to be something that we would see when it's landing in greens? If you're playing on firm greens, it might just run on a little bit more, but it felt good. You could still get that sort of soft feeling off the iron face like I did when I was hitting the wedges and the putters, but you know, it launched a little, like it looked to me like it launched higher. We see that it didn't, but it looked like it was climbing a bit higher overall. But overall at the minute, pretty much side by side. But if you're looking for distance, we can see that that Q Star is already a little bit longer. Let's head up to the driver, because this is the category where I would expect maybe the driver distance to drop a little bit and that Pro V just to peek ahead a tiny bit, but time will tell. Let's get up and hit some drivers now. So 5 drives with each now. Going to go Pro V one first. Let's see which one comes out on top, and then we'll see if we should be playing a cheaper tour golf ball. So that's 5 with the Pro V1, 287 yards carry, 2,300 revs of spin. So we're going to hit 5 with the Q Star and see how we get on there. So do I think it's worth changing out of the Pro V to something like the Q Star Tour? Well, yeah, to be honest with you. If we look at the numbers there with the driver, a couple of yards longer at 289 yards as opposed to the 287, and it dropped a little bit on the spin, so it was around about that 2,000 revs of spin versus the 2,300 with the Pro V. Probably again why we're seeing it go a little bit further. Into the greens then, would it hold as much? Maybe not as much, and potentially round the greens maybe just a little less spin. But for, you know, the mid-handicapper that I saw from the group of friends the other day, are they going to notice that much difference? Potentially not when they're out there. They will notice a difference of £15 a dozen though, which I think, if you're not too precious about the ball you play but you still want a tour quality golf ball, something like that is definitely worth giving a go. But if you want to stick with the Pro V1, it's totally up to you. All I would say is it's worth a try. Go and give it a try. If you like the Pro V at the end of it, stay with your Pro V. Guys, definitely worth something looking at in that Srixon Q Star Tour. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.